Hello, my name is 1Cunningham. I am currently a senior at Lourdes University. I am majoring in accounting and I will be graduating in July with my bachelor's. I have not had much experience besides my internship in the accounting field. I have worked in restaurants most of my life. However, I did step down from a manager position at a restaurant to do my accounting internship. I interned with Raymond Accounting Firm. It's a firm that is based mainly out of Michigan. However, it does have one office in Ohio, which is in Toledo. That is where I interned at, and also two in Florida, with a total of 19 offices total. Raymond currently employs over 800 associates, and like I said previously, it's an accounting firm, but they also do financial wealth investments and corporate investigation. Raymond is a multifaceted finance firm. Their primary goal is to provide their clients with trustworthy, efficient, and effective tax and insurance service. They want to be able to prove themselves to not only the clients, but also their associates. Raymond is a very put you first type of firm. It is one of the largest firms in the Midwest, where their words to live by is to put wisdom first and to gain the Raymond experience, which I will talk about the Raymond experience in just a moment. Raymond believes that the experience you have working with them is just as important as the service that we deliver to our clients. Each day, their goal is that not only you get the most out of Raymond, but the clients do. They want to exceed what the associates feel about them and what the clients do. They feel that if their associates are important, feel important and are happy at what they do, that they'll be able to put that to what they do to the client. Raymond has drawn me in, I should say, by their not only their goals but their visions, and their values. I was offered an internship with Raymond last year in January of 2017, kind of by chance. I have a friend that works there and they were looking for one more person to intern, and she suggested me, knowing that I was going into the field. After meeting with Raymond and having an interview with them, I told them I would think about the position. I wanted to research the company a little bit more and kind of find out what they stand for, get a feel for who they were before I just jumped into a position in an office, since I previously stated I've always been in a restaurant. So this was going to be a whole new field for me. It was going to be completely different from what I normally would be expecting. And it was kind of caught me off guard, since I wasn't expecting to graduate until 2018 and it was currently 2017. I took the time to look into Raymond. I noticed that I liked a lot of their views. Just for instance, their mission statement is to deliver value, comprehensive solutions through the Raymond experience, which I told you that I would speak about. Their vision is to be the firm of choice for clients and associates. Their values are to put people first at all times, and that goes for not only their associates, but also their clients, obviously, because that is where they make their money. They believe that long-term success is in everything you do. I have a great example of this, and I have used it in my journal entry. Just, once tax time got closer and closer, we were working more hours, and you could tell that the managers, partners, and associates really cared about each other, where they brought in food almost every day to make sure people were eating, whether it was dinner or lunch. And I had one associate in particular that was on her Skype at 4 in the morning, and her supervisor saw it. So she came over to her cube, and I overheard her talking to her to make sure that, she, not only she was doing her work that was she was supposed to be and that they expected of her, but she was also taking the time to take care of herself. That's a great example of putting people first. Be obsessed with client success is one that they're really big on as well. They want you to make sure you're doing, obviously, the best job for the client, but doing so while building your own knowledge and wisdom. Do as you would do for yourself for the client. To cultivate business wisdom, always wanting to grow and learn new things. Embrace on an entrepreneurial spirit. They want you to, if you have ideas or something you think would work better in the firm, they want you to talk about it. They want you to come to them with it and let them know, this is what you think would be better and this is why. To have to exhibit an unwavering integrity, to show that you can be trusted at all times with, anything. I mean, this is people's finances. They give you the bank account. They give you, everything. You have your social security number. If you didn't have integrity and Raymond didn't believe you were honest, they wouldn't trust you with these things. I believe that says a lot. So I was attracted from the start of looking into the company, and I accepted their position with them. Previously, I was considered a professional support intern, and this year I actually moved up to a tax intern. They asked me to come back after last year and go on to provide the Raymond experience with them. They say that the Raymond experience guarantees complete client satisfaction and confidence. It gives clients access to associates from all their services. So that's just saying that the associates are going to work hand in hand with the different services we provide. I may not be, an expert at assurance, but I can do pretty well at tax. Let me go and talk to, this assurance person to find out more about maybe your business or something I need to know in your 1040. Just knowing that I have the opportunity to go and do that and that I'm utilizing those aspects of the business is the Raymond experience. They want for their associates to care just as much about the clients and the client's interests and success as they do as their own. Raymond has received the best of accounting for 3 years in a row. This is just saying that they provide remarkable service and quality to their clients. Fewer than 1% of all accounting firms in the United States and Canada have received this award, so I think it's a great thing and a pretty big deal. Upon my tax internship, I was able to help get client documentation in the system. This took some learning because I had to learn several different programs, particularly CCH scan is what it's called. But I also had to learn how to use a copy machine, which sounds pretty silly, but I have never learned how to use one. I've just copied things and that's been it. I had to know how to fax things, how to scan things, how to fax and send things to people's emails, which I thought was a pretty big idea. I'm going to use that in everything I do now in the business world. I was able to get my hands wet and dip into a couple business returns, although I had help the whole time doing them, so I didn't get to do as many as I would have liked. Then I transitioned into 1040s, which are personal returns, and I did the majority of those. While doing 1040s, I was able to learn, one of my biggest things was I was assigned, rather than pulling from what they call the pool, I was assigned a complex return. This person worked in Canada and lived in the United States, so I had to convert the Canada income into dollars to make sure that it was taxed at the right rate. That was a little tricky, but it definitely was a learning experience, and now I'm aware that that needs to be done if I ever come across the situation again. I have learned that 1040s are not alike. You don't ever get two that are like, as simple as some may look. Our clients have a lot of investments, so I really struggled with brokerage statements and learning tax exempt income, and when you have tax exempt dividends, where to add that back on in the state level. I also struggled with ordinary and unordinary dividends, and I learned that that is just basically the tax rate of which they're taxed upon. It's like a preferential rate. I thought that was pretty cool. I would say one of the biggest things that I've really learned and achieved at Raymond was realizing that the documentation that a lot of people provide for taxes isn't even necessary, and a lot of people just don't realize that. So a lot of the learning experience was sifting, through taxes and realizing what could be deductible and what cannot be deductible, and under what, if it's a Schedule C, which is a business, or if it's just a personal deduction. I also learned that the threshold changes for itemizing and what can be included in itemizing and what cannot be included in itemizing. I learned how to look at Access, which is the software that we use to input everything, and see if it flows through to the return rate, not just making sure the numbers are in Access. You have to look and see if it flowed through to make sure that everything adds up. I would say overall that I have learned a lot about 1040s. Each client is specifically different. I was able to file a couple extensions, so I've learned how to do that. And also on the end things, I was able to process returns. So I was able to print them out, get them sent out in the mail, or send them off for e-filing at the end. You do need an 8879. I thought that was pretty cool that I knew that, which is just signing saying that the client says it's okay to be sent out. I really, really learned how to manage my time better. You don't have somebody looking over your shoulder and telling you what needs to be done. You pull from pools, and out of all the interns, we had over 600 returns to get done. Not only that, it had to be in a timely fashion, or if something was directly assigned to me, I had to make sure that I communicated with my manager or partner, whoever happened to give me that, and see exactly when they need it back. And reach out to clients if I'm missing information, and see, what I'm supposed to do if I'm not hearing back from them. So it was a lot of communication skills that I feel like I have built upon learning at Raymond. I do want to take the time to say that my experience from last year, this year, was completely different, and that's a good and a bad thing, because they just transitioned everything into floativity is what they're calling it. It's where you pull from pools, whereas last year everything was localized. If you pulled a return, you were able to go and speak with the manager or partner on it, and this year in the firm you were not, since it was from another office maybe. I found that to be really hard as an intern, because you were not getting feedback and learning as much as you could. But overall, my experience at Raymond was great. I felt like it was a great fit for me, and I hope that they offer me a position. I go for an exit interview next week, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I want to say thank you to Raymond for giving me the opportunity, to my friend Noelle Linnenkugel for giving me the opportunity and putting my name out there. Without her, I never would have got the intern position. My supervisors, all my intern friends, and last but not least, my mother, because if she didn't help me out so much, it wouldn't have been possible. Thank you.